Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, but some answers are too terrifying to ignore. One morning, they were there. The next, they were gone. No traces, no clues, no explanation. Just silence, and the eerie feeling that something or someone was watching. This is the story of a village that vanished without a trace. But beware, not all disappearances are accidental. In the heart of the land, where rivers sang and mountains stood tall, there was a village unlike any other, a place where every day brought new joy and every night carried the promise of peace. It was a bustling hub of life, alive with the laughter of children and the hum of daily routines. Farmers tilled their fields under the golden sun, their hands working the rich soil with care and hope for the harvest to come. Children played tag near the sparkling stream, their giggles ringing through the air like music. Families gathered in the evenings, sharing meals beneath the ancient baobab tree, its gnarled branches offering shelter and stories
Chief Kwame
passed down
was at
through
the center of it all.
generations. His wisdom and kindness guided the community like a steady beacon. His voice boomed during festivals, rallying everyone together, and his presence was a source of comfort in times of need. By his side was Elder Nee, the keeper of traditions and secrets. With his silver hair and eyes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries, he was the village's connection to its past, a bridge between the old ways and the new. And then there was Essie, a spirited young woman whose curiosity knew no bounds. She could often be found climbing the tallest trees or exploring the forest's hidden paths, her laughter echoing through the hills. Essie had a way of bringing people together, whether it was organizing games for the children or helping the elders prepare for celebrations. Her energy was infectious, and her questions were endless, always seeking to understand the world's mysteries. This was a village blessed with beauty and prosperity, a place where life flowed as naturally as the river that wound through its borders. No one could have imagined what lay ahead, the sudden, inexplicable disappearance that would leave only silence in its wake. But while the village thrived, there were whispers of an ancient spirit guarding the land, unseen but ever present, watching over the lives intertwined within its embrace. Little did they know how closely their fate was tied to this mysterious force. One morning, everything changed. Neighboring villages awoke to find silence where laughter once echoed. The bustling streets were now empty, the fields untouched, and the homes eerily still. Not a single villager remained, no Chief Kwame, no Elder Nee, not even Essie, whose laughter had brightened every corner of the valley. At first, people thought it was a mistake. Perhaps they had all gone to celebrate at a distant festival, or maybe they had temporarily relocated due to some unknown reason. But as days turned into weeks, the truth became undeniable. The entire village had vanished without a trace. Neighboring communities sent search parties, scouring the forests, hills and rivers, but there was nothing, no footprints, no abandoned belongings, not even a whisper of what might have happened. It was as if the earth itself had swallowed them whole. Essie, somehow left behind, stood amidst the ruins, her heart heavy with confusion and fear. She remembered the night before, a peaceful evening filled with song and laughter. How could such vibrancy be replaced so quickly by emptiness? Her mind raced with questions, but the answers eluded her. What force could erase an entire village from existence, and why had she been spared? As the world watched in awe and horror, the mystery deepened. The once thriving village was now a ghost town, its fate shrouded in darkness. But for those who dared to look closer, faint clues began to emerge. Strange markings etched into tree trunks, glowing orbs hovering near the ruins, and whispers carried by the wind. Something extraordinary and terrifying had taken place. Word of the vanished village spread far and wide, drawing the attention of neighboring communities and curious wanderers alike. Among them were Elder Nee, whose wisdom had always guided the village, and Essie, the spirited young woman left behind. Together, They formed a small team determined to unravel the mystery. Their journey began in the heart of the abandoned settlement. As they walked through the silent streets, an eerie stillness pressed against them. Yet amidst the emptiness, signs of something unusual began to emerge. Strange markings carved into tree trunks, symbols that seemed both ancient and alien, lined the paths leading out of the village. Glowing orbs floated lazily near the ruins, their light casting unnatural shadows on the ground. And then there were the whispers, faint voices carried by the wind, speaking in languages none could understand. Issy, her curiosity sharpened by fear and determination, noticed details others might have missed. She found scraps of fabric caught on thorny bushes, as though someone had been dragged away hastily. In the village square, she discovered a single footprint, impossibly large and deep, embedded in the earth, a clue too strange to ignore. Elder Nee, meanwhile, focused on the whispers. Closing his eyes, he listened intently, trying to decipher their meaning. "These are not human voices," he murmured, his tone heavy with concern. "They belong to something older, something tied to this land." As days passed, the investigation grew more intense. The team ventured deeper into the surrounding forest, following trails left behind by whatever force had taken the villagers. Each step revealed new mysteries, stones arranged in intricate patterns, carvings depicting creatures from forgotten myths, and a sense of being watched that made even the bravest among them uneasy. But perhaps the most unsettling discovery came when Essie began experiencing vivid dreams. In these dreams, she saw flashes of the night the village disappeared, flashing lights, shadowy figures, and a towering presence that seemed to swallow everything in its path. Though terrifying, these visions offered a glimmer of hope. If Essie could unlock their meaning, maybe she could find a way to bring her people back. As Essie and Elder Nee delved deeper into their investigation, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Though what they uncovered was far more chilling than they had imagined. Through Essie's dreams, fragments of the past emerged. She saw her fellow villagers gathered around a sacred site deep within the forest, a place long forbidden by tradition. In their ignorance, they had disturbed an ancient spirit bound to the land, awakening it from its slumber. The spirit, enraged by their intrusion, had taken the villagers, pulling them into another realm where time stood still. Elder Nee confirmed these visions through his knowledge of old legends. He spoke of a powerful entity known as the Guardian of the Veil, a being tasked with protecting the balance between worlds. Long ago, the villagers' ancestors had made a pact with this spirit, promising never to disturb its resting place. But over generations, the memory of the pact faded, leaving the current generation unaware of the danger they faced. "This isn't just about punishment," Elder Nee explained, his voice tinged with sorrow. "The spirit didn't take them out of malice. It acted to preserve the harmony of the land. To restore that balance, we must appease it and convince it to return our people." But how? The answer lay in the glowing orbs they had encountered earlier. These orbs, Elder Nee realized, were fragments of the spirit's essence scattered across the village. By collecting them and performing an ancient ritual, they could communicate directly with the spirit and negotiate the village's release. Essie took charge, leading the team as they searched for the remaining orbs. Each one revealed new insights into the spirit's nature, its immense power, its loneliness, and its desire for respect. With every orb they recovered, the air grew heavier, charged with an otherworldly energy. Finally, after days of relentless effort, they assembled all the orbs in the heart of the sacred site. As the light from the orbs merged into a blinding brilliance, a presence materialized before them. A towering figure cloaked in shadows, its eyes burning like twin suns. The moment of truth had arrived. The figure loomed before them, its form shifting between shadow and light, its presence overwhelming. The air crackled with energy, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. For a moment, neither Essie nor Elder Nee dared to speak. awestruck by the sheer power radiating from the spirit. Finally, Elder Nee stepped forward, his voice steady despite the fear in his heart. "Great guardian of the Vale," he began, bowing deeply, "we come not as enemies, but as seekers of understanding. Your wrath has claimed our people, yet we seek only to restore the balance you guard so fiercely." The spirit's burning eyes locked onto him, and a deep, resonant voice filled the air. "Balance was broken long ago when your kind disturbed my rest. I acted to protect this land, to preserve its sanctity. But know this, taking your people was never meant to destroy them. They live, though trapped between realms. To free them, you must prove your worth." Issy stepped forward, her courage fueled by desperation. "What must we do?" she asked, her voice trembling but resolute. The spirit regarded her for a long moment, then spoke. "You must offer something precious in exchange, a sacrifice that shows your commitment to maintaining harmony. Only then will I consider releasing those who belong to this world." A heavy silence fell over the group. What could they possibly give up that would satisfy such a powerful being? Essie's mind raced, her thoughts turning to the villages she had lost, the laughter, the love, the life that once defined her home. Then an idea formed in her mind. "Take me," she said suddenly, her voice cutting through the stillness. "I'll become your vessel, your connection to this world. Let my presence be the bond that ensures no one disturbs your resting place again." Elder Nee protested, his voice breaking with emotion. "Essie, you can't—" But Essie silenced him with a determined look. "If it means bringing everyone back, I'll do whatever it takes." The spirit studied her, its gaze piercing. Finally it nodded. "Your bravery will not go unnoticed. Should you succeed in carrying out your promise, your people shall return unharmed. Fail, however, and you will remain bound to me forever." With that, the spirit extended a massive hand, enveloping Essie in a blinding light. As she disappeared into its grasp, the others watched in awe and despair, hoping her sacrifice would not be in vain. The light faded, leaving Elder Nee and the others alone in the sacred clearing. Though Essie was gone, her presence lingered in the air, a symbol of hope amidst despair. The spirit's voice echoed once more, its tone softer now, almost contemplative. "Your friend has shown great courage," it said. "Her promise binds us both. Now let us see if her resolve matches her heart." As the spirit spoke, the glowing orbs they had collected began to pulse with renewed energy. One by one, they rose into the air, forming a circle above the ground. Within this circle, faint silhouettes began to appear, men, women, and children, their forms shimmering like reflections on water. Elder Nee led the group in an ancient chant, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. The villagers' spirits responded, their outlines growing clearer as the chant grew louder. Slowly, they stepped out of the orb-lit circle, their eyes wide with confusion but filled with relief. But the process was not without cost. Essie's voice rang out from somewhere unseen, urging them onward. "Finish it," she cried. "Complete the ritual." With renewed determination, the team poured all their energy into the final steps of the ceremony. The glowing orbs merged into a single beam of light, illuminating the sky. In that moment, the villagers reappeared fully, gasping for breath, but alive and unharmed. However, as the last of the light dissipated, Essie did not return. Instead, a faint whisper carried on the wind. "I'll always be here, guarding the balance." Her voice trailed off, leaving behind only silence. Though devastated by her loss, the villagers knew her sacrifice had saved them. They vowed to honor her memory by protecting the sacred site and teaching future generations about the pact they had made with the spirit. In the days that followed, the village came alive again. Laughter returned to the streets, fields were replanted, and life resumed its rhythm. Yet the joy was tempered by the absence of Essie, whose sacrifice had brought them back from the brink. A monument was erected at the edge of the forest, a simple stone carved with her name and the words, She gave herself to protect us all. It stood as a reminder of her bravery and the price she paid for their survival. Elder Ni gathered the villagers under the ancient baobab tree, his voice carrying the weight of wisdom and sorrow. "Essie taught us an important lesson," he said. "Respect for the land and its mysteries must never fade. We owe our existence to her courage and the Spirit's mercy." From that day forward, the villagers upheld their promise. They left offerings at the sacred site, honoring the pact made long ago. On moonlit nights, some claimed to see Essie's silhouette walking through the forest, her presence a comforting reassurance that she still watched over them. Though her body was gone, her spirit remained, an eternal guardian of the balance between worlds. And so, the village thrived once more, forever changed by the events that had tested their strength and unity. Years passed, and the tale of Essie became legend, told around fires and passed down through generations. It was a story of loss, love, and redemption, a reminder that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism come at the highest cost. If you stayed until the end, thank you for being part of this journey with me. Your support means everything, and I'm so grateful to share these stories with such an amazing audience. Now, I want to hear from you. What did you think about Essie's sacrifice? Could you imagine making a choice like hers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and your thoughts always inspire me. If you loved this folktale, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more legends that will leave you spellbound. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more mysteries to uncover together. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, even the smallest acts of courage can change the world. Thank you again for watching. See you soon.